Hello everyone, how are you? I hope all of you are doing well. I have had a very interesting past few months. But your girl got so much stuff going on, I didn't know whether I was coming or going, and I didn't want you to see me like that on the internet. But today we're going to be using an air fryer to make a 7-Up cream cheese pound cake. I have made this cake all summer. I didn't have to turn on my oven. And the topping is a brown buttered lemon icing. Let's get into it. All right, we're gonna start with our dry ingredients. I have some all-purpose flour here that I am measuring and then leveling off my measurements. We need 3 cups. Once in a while, I'll get some emails saying the cakes didn't turn out right, and I often wonder, depending on how you guys tell me what happened to the cakes, I wonder if you are leveling off your measurements. Remember, don't heap any of your measurements unless you are particularly told to do so by the writer of that recipe. Otherwise, when you're baking, all of your measurements should be level. And I'm just gonna sift them all together. Don't forget, when baking, it's better that your ingredients are room temperature because it helps everything blend together better. So we have 8 ounces of cream cheese and 8 ounces of unsalted butter going in. For the exact measurements to this recipe, be sure and check out gdseasoning.com. The links will be below in the description and pinned in the top of the comment section. As you can see, I may have been gone, but it doesn't mean I still haven't been working. But just to move on, we're gonna take the sugar now and add that to the blended cream cheese and butter and mix that together until it's nice and creamy. Also, when you get to the website, be sure and sign up for the newsletter. So, because I'm going to use that as an avenue to communicate with those who are signed up when there's a new video up, or if I make a new post, I will use that to let you know, so you'll get an email about it. So that'll be another way we can keep up with each other over there. Now I'm just going to add my eggs. There are 6 in this recipe, and I'm just going to add them one at a time, making sure they're thoroughly mixed after each one. As always, with pound cake batter, it's good to stop every once in a while and scrape your bowl down to make sure those ingredients on the bottom are getting well incorporated with the rest of the batter, so you don't have big lumps at the bottom. Just for me personally, once I get down to my last couple of eggs, that's when I usually stop, scrape the bowl, and then I add the last couple of eggs. It's just my thing, but you'll definitely know when to do it. Next, I add my lemon and vanilla extract. I'm gonna bend this cake toward the lemon side. So I put 2 teaspoons of lemon extract and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. You can bend it toward the other direction of going the vanilla way. In this particular case, I'm definitely going for a buttery lemon flavor. Now I'm just gonna alternately add my dry ingredients and my 8 ounces of 7-Up or Sprite. Whatever you can get your hands on, just make sure it's fresh. Don't use flat soda. I'm just stirring this together so I won't have a dust of flour everywhere. So I just do that first, and then I go ahead and turn the mixer on, turn it off, and then add my other ingredients. That's just my way of doing things to avoid having a big mess, even though sometimes I make it. That's just my way of combating that. And don't forget to scrape your bowl down periodically to make sure all of your ingredients are incorporated. All right, so the batter for this particular pound cake is much looser than some of the other pound cake recipes. Some are more pillowy and fluffy. This one in particular just seems to be a little bit more runny, almost like a regular layer cake. So don't let that scare you. You didn't do anything wrong. As long as you follow the recipe, it's a little bit more runny than usual, and that's okay. Please understand that all recipes are not created equal. As long as you get that, you'll be fine. Just give the pan a shake and a shimmy. And if you notice, I am using a tube pan for this recipe because I want that beautiful blossom at the top. I'm gonna go into my air fryer at 300 degrees for an hour and 20 minutes. Now, the temperature and cook time is different for a regular conventional oven, and it is 1 hour and 10 to 15 minutes at 325 degrees. If you're thinking that the air fryer mimics convection cooking, you are absolutely right. The cooking time on this air fryer only goes up to 60 minutes. So what I do is I set the timer at 60 minutes and then I set my phone at 58 minutes so that if I'm busy doing something else, my phone will ring 2 minutes before it cuts off and I get back and I add the other cook time. Just to tell you guys a little bit about this air fryer, you can find it online. I purchased it. This is not a sponsored video. I'm just showing you because my air fryer may look a little different from yours. The whole frying in a drawer thing, I couldn't do it. I bought 3 and returned all 3 from different brands. Couldn't do it anymore. So I settled on this one. As you can see, this one has racks. You can bake layer cakes in here also. You can do chicken wings. This is a dehydrator. It comes with a rotisserie ability where you can rotisserie chicken, whole roast, things like that. I mean, so many things you can do with this particular device, and I love the settings. You have the light there where you can check on the cake, okay, or whatever you're cooking. It is great. It is large though. I'm going to put the dimensions down in the description box and in the comments to let you know how big it is. Since I was already in the kitchen, at the 8-minute mark, I added the other 20 minutes, which gave me a total of 28 minutes left to cook. So that gives me a total of 1 hour and 20 minutes. So, you know, doing your math is going to be important using this thing. Now you want to take a toothpick and stick it down into the part that has blossomed up, those cracks, to make sure the toothpick comes out clean. Over there, over there. Okay, everything's clean, so we're going to go ahead and take it out. But that's how you would make sure it is completely done. I'm just going to put that on a rack to let it sit in the pan for about 5 minutes before I turn it out onto a rack, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Really quick, I want to thank all you guys that sent me messages and comments since I've been gone. I really appreciated it. My parents are okay. We have our moments, and I swear to you, they're trying to get back at me for everything I did to them as a child. But, you know, that's another story. So, just gonna move along, allowing them to test my patience and my faith, okay? No, thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. So we're just gonna melt the butter for the topping. The cake is completely cool now, so we can go ahead and brown this butter. This is a process that you need to stick with. You can't leave the stove. You gotta watch this happen, and it's gonna happen fairly quickly. I'm just gonna swirl the butter around the pan. This is 5 tablespoons of butter, and the smell is gonna start to smell nutty, almost like a caramel shop or a candy store. You can see how quickly this happens. You're just gonna keep turning the butter around the pan until it gets about the color of caramel. And what you want to do is have a bowl nearby so you can immediately pour it out, because turning off the heat will not stop it from cooking. It's going to continue cooking even if you turn off the heat. So take it out of that pot and put it in a bowl. You need to have your bowl ready for it to go in. And I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And you really need 4 tablespoons of lemon juice, but I didn't have any more lemon juice than that. So I used 2 tablespoons of 7-Up to back up that lemon juice. And you need 1 cup of powdered sugar. All of that is enough to coat the entire cake. And just to let you guys know, this icing can go on my other lemon cream cheese pound cake. It can go on my regular 7-Up cake. I will leave the links to those videos below also. What you can do now is just pour the icing over, filling in those cracks first and then letting it drip to the side. Yes, I have it over a pan. That's one of my workhorse pans. Put it on something where you can catch the icing, because the first drip, a lot of it is going to go into the pan. And what you're going to do is brush the sides and let it kind of set. Just let it kind of dry. And then you're going to pour that icing back into the bowl, and you're going to go over it a few more times. Each time you're going to be working with less and less icing because it's going to set on the cake. You're also going to notice that the icing is going to get thicker and thicker as you move on, because that butter is starting to cool. When we started, the butter was slightly warm. As the butter starts to cool, it also helps the icing to set. I just kept repeating the icing process until all of it was gone. As you move forward, you'll see that the icing starts to run slower and slower, and it starts to set. And that gives you a chance to brush it around and coat the entire cake. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload a video. Also, when you go to the website, gdseasoning.com, sign up for the newsletter. That way you'll get an email when I upload also, or anytime I make a post. This 7-Up pound cake is definitely a different texture from my other recipe, and I think that's due to the butter and the cream cheese ratios, and the brown butter icing just sets everything off. Thank you guys so much for joining me. You know I appreciate it when you come cook with me and hang out. Don't forget, this recipe and others can be found at gdseasoning.com, and I'll see you guys next time.